Hey, hello, beautiful people. Welcome. I want to talk today about my unarmed build, and as you can see, I got my mole miners, and yeah, I guess that's where my story starts. When I was playing this game, when I got a level 20 mole miners, and it was vampires with like 40% faster speed. Let me look at it. And I mean, even when I was like above level 50 and higher, and I just kept playing that with the level 20 vampire mole miner. Even it wasn't as powerful as some of the other like unarmed weapons that I had. And the thing is that first of all, the faster swing speed combines great, really good with vampires because every time you hit somebody, you get healed. So when you hit 40% faster, of course you're gonna get 40% more healing. Um, and then you have like some perks. Here, let me have a look here. That also like here, martial artist. Your melee weapons weigh 6% less, and you can swing them 30% faster. So that again increases your speed. So yeah, it just gives you lots of healing. And even if you go against big boss fights, against mobs, whatever, as long as you can hit somebody, you're gonna get healing. Now there's another thing also here, the ricochet. If they're shooting at you and like with like mini guns and whatever, and they're not doing too much damage, you can even and the bullets ricochet. They also get the vampires effect, so you get healing from that also. Okay, now while I'm here in the perks, I might as well go through them. Um, like of course 15 strength when you're playing unarmed, because every point in strength will give you extra power for your weapon. Um, Now I used to have like barbarian full, but what I found out that the damage resist, at least for me now when I have all Secret Service armor, I have a lot of damage resist, DR, and the more you have of it, the less it does for you. It's still great to have lots of DR, but adding on top of it and again, getting really high DR at the end, you're gonna get less results from it. So yeah, so and I got a bit greedy, whereas in the beginning, as I was playing unarmed, I dropped all my grenades, I sold them or gave them away. I dropped most of my ammunition and gave it away. Lots of weapons that I had. I only kept very few weapons because of the weight problems. But then now I have like bandolier, so my ammo weighs 90% less. Ordnance is 90% less. I wouldn't recommend it when you begin. This is really a greediness of me, putting five using 5 points for this. Because yeah, I mean I do play a lot of unarmed. I do get lots of grenades which I don't need to use, but so they stack up a lot, and then also you have like mini nukes and rockets, and so I decided that I was gonna do like unarmed, and then combine it with like explosives. Like here you have the grenadier. Now there's another perk. Is it here? Um, yeah. So hack and slash. Now it's not very high yet. I didn't know how good it was, but this is probably one of the best of all the perks, legendary perks. This one, it does like if you go into vets and you hit somebody, there's a 30% chance they will actually do damage, extra explosive damage, and that will hit that enemy harder, but also everybody around it. So This is really good for when you're getting a whole mob of 10, 20 guys coming at you. Start hitting them with like go into vets, start hitting them through vets, and then solve. And then you're like, well, it's like throwing grenades, and they will just like they all get a lot of damage, and it will be most of them will probably die if they're like ghouls or something. And then yeah, it's gonna be take. This will save you a lot of time. I want to get this full. Now, funky dots, really important. There's lots of poison in this game, and unless you have armor, really good armor, would give you a lot of poison. I mean, you need at least like at some point 50 poison resistance. Now, I upgraded this already to 3. I was a bit over. I was really happy with this. I didn't like dying from poison, so it went a bit over the top here. Strength, of course, really important for an unarmed build. Again, like every 1 point of strength is well um, if you look at my weapon it's like 50 damage normally, and then I think you get like 10% extra for 1 point of strength, so that's like 5 damage. So when you get like 10 strength is already another 50, so it brings you up to 100. So you can the more strength you have, just your weapon goes up and up and up. Only by little bits, but every little bit helps. Now, electric absorption, actually, this is really good because you're going to be really strong against most things with this build. It's like this is like a super tank. You're super tanky. You will just can run around places and stand in places, and you don't even need to fight back. And probably you will survive. But one of the things is this electric absorption. It helps you with energy attacks. Energy attacks can actually heal you if you have this one. Now, of course, endurance is really important. Again, only we talked about tankiness. This is super tanky. Endurance gives you health. Now there are like three ways where three important parts in like defending yourself. One is like I said, the damage resistance. Well, if you have secret service armor, which I'll show you, that will be fine. Or power armor, even better. I mean, it is better. It's by a lot, but I like to run around without power armor, so I can put on like some nice clothes and like now I have this pirate outfit, and so um, and go unarmed, of course, because you cannot go unarmed in power armor. So endurance is really important because, like, let's say you have unyielding. Let me show you what yielding is, just in case you don't need it. Know it. So this is my. If you look at like my armor right now, you see I gave it all names for me that are easy. So it's unyielding. This is all unyielding, and then like LL is left leg, left arm, right arm. Because these are my main things, let me show you one. Um, so yeah, it gives you +3 to stats, except endurance. You see here that endurance is not being boosted, but all the other things, is your intelligence, your strength, everything is being boosted. So unyielding is great for unarmed because your strength goes up. It gives you it's great for any build because of the intelligence, because more intelligence means more experience, it's more leveling, is better perks. Um, then you have um, even I think things like perception and stuff. There are, all these things are really good. Like if you want to shoot, you probably need like perception and you need agility, like for like AP regen and all these. So unyielding, getting the first things I would want to do first is try to get like a full set of unyielding with whatever is on them, even like 1 stars. Just get unyielding armor so you can put it on for your everyday things that you need to do when you're crafting. Put it on so you craft the best weapons because of the intelligence. When you buy stuff, you get the best charisma. If you want to shoot, you get the best perception. If you're unarmed, you get the best strength. You can get the best carry weight. But when you're crafting, of course, the unyielding armors. Oh, this one is broken. Uh, you're gonna get other stuff too. So what I'm gonna talk about is like what am I going for end game. Now I'm not end game at all yet. So if you look at this, there's a fire chest. This is chest piece fire. So it will give me some, and then it's intelligence. This is like weapon, 20% weapon, less weapon weight, intelligence and frost damage, and then again fire. So I'm pretty good when it comes to fire with this build. And then let me look at them. This one has a jetpack. Now I have a jetpack on the unyielding because I don't. This is really the unyielding is really for my everyday stuff, going through like weaker mobs. I can go like most places in the game right now with my unyielding. It's really powerful, but I have something more powerful. But this is really powerful, and it's probably the best armor I can take until it's not good enough anymore. But it's always the go-to armor, and then the jetpack is because the other thing I can do is like dance. Dance will give me lots of fire and explosive protection, but like I said, like I have like already two fire on my unyielding armor, two fire boosts. Like this one has already a fire boost. So putting a jetpack on it made lots of sense. So I can enjoy just flying over buildings and stuff. And yeah, I didn't do that for a long time. I only had it like for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, and then we have buttress. That's the most gives you best strength. That's the best thing to buy. There are other ones that you can buy. Don't buy them. That's a waste of your resources. You need buttress and then a jetpack. Now let's look at some other ones. Now this is Secret Service a left arm. And again, buttress, of course, that's the best, gives you the best, because you start at like, you have 40 DR and now I have 53. That is because of the buttress. I went up like 13 points in all those things. And then we have weighted. Now you also have another one. I don't think it really matters that much. I guess only weighted you can either use with unarmed or with melee. So it gives you, and it's like weighted is like an armor penetration or something. So and then you have the other one also you can use. Let me look what I have more. This is the left leg. So again, buttressed and then custom fitted. Custom fitted. Let me think. I think gives me like less AP when I'm running, and running is really important if you're unarmed because you have to run up to those people. So so yeah, let's talk about the running. Now, if you see here, I have some things I call sprint. Now, I call them sprint because it gives you like protection when you're sprinting. They used to be called cavaliers, cavaliers armor or cavaliers effect. And then there's another effect, oh, which I don't have here right now, and that's like sentinels when you're standing still. But yeah, let's look at okay, let's look at this aura. So this is an overeater's right arm sprint with fire. That's what this means. So there's a 75% chance. So 3 out of 4 hits, I get my damage is reduced by 50% when I'm sprinting. So let's say there's a whole bunch of enemies. I have to run from one enemy to another enemy to another enemy to attack them because I'm unarmed, right? I cannot fight from a distance. So I'm gonna do a lot of running. So while I'm running, I get nearly 15% protection. Well, I get 15%, 15% 3 out of 4 times. So that's a lot. Now, and then increased damage reduction to 6. You probably know overeaters is just flat 6% damage reduction on everything. Now, what I said about damage resistance is that damage resistance, this Secret Service armor is really great. It gives great damage resistance, but also all the other stuff is really high. It's just as high as the damage resistance. So this is one of the toughest armors you can get. And on its own, it's already really good with some perks. But there's a limit with the damage resistance. So you cannot just, if you would focus on getting the best damage resistance in the game, you probably lose out on a lot of stuff. So you have like things like bolstering that will give you extra damage resistance and vanguard. So that's not going to be as good as getting like 6% less damage from everything in the game, or 15% less while sprinting from everything in the game, uh, most of the time. So basically, it's gonna give you 21% less damage a lot of the time, um, and that's separate from the damage resistance. So let's say you get 100%, you get a 100 damage, then the damage resistance will reduce that, and then the sprinting, the 15% will reduce it, and the 6% will reduce it. So you have different kinds of reductions going on. Now, the 6% is always going to go off, so you always get -6, and this is only one piece of armor, so you have this times 5, so this can go off lots of times, and then you have the 15%, which will go off 3 out of 4 hits, will get reduced by 15%. Now, sometimes a lot of those hits don't get reduced while you're sprinting or something, then suddenly you will get a bit more damage, and when everything is working, you just don't get much damage. But so that's a sprinting. So you understand that, like, when I'm going into a fight that's really tough for me, my enemies are really tough, doing a lot of damage, then the unyielding is basically unyielding. All that unyielding is doing is being a good Secret Service armor. It's giving me the base things. Um, we just were looking at an arm. Let me get that other arm. So this is the same arm, right arm, and you can see it's 53, 53, 53. That's it. I'm not getting any more reduction. This is damage reduction. I'm not getting any when I'm sprinting. I'm not getting any reductions when I'm like, I don't have the overeaters or any other reductions. This is purely, I have the unyielding ability, so I have more strength. I don't get more endurance, so because I don't have more endurance, basically my health stays the same, my damage resistance is the same, which they're probably pretty good already, but I'm not getting any help in the department of getting more tankies. This is not super tank. This is not super tank. This is like a regular tank. And when I go into like this overeaters sprinting, something like this, suddenly I'm getting 6% and 15%, and now this is only one, and this is what I call also God tier. God tier. Now, normally when we talk about God tier armor or God tier weapons, people talk about having all three things perfect. Now, I don't even consider all three things perfect. Perfect. I want two things perfect, and that is the damage resistance, or the not the damage resistance, the damage negation. So here it says -15 and -6. So that is already, that I'd call that God tier. Now this is actually a God tier because it has 25 fire resistance, which can be also a really powerful thing to have on it, because yeah, that's just really good. So this is actually a God tier, with even the third one being really good. So now, but there's something even better. So let's say I go up to mutants, right? I have to fight a bunch of mutants, and let's say we have like daily ops. Now I didn't do daily ops for a long time because um, here you have the robots, and I just died when even with the unyielding, and when I was like, I just died, or it took me forever, or I couldn't find I couldn't destroy the boss. I had a lots of problem with maybe it's interesting to look here if there's only one person. I don't know. Okay, so I had lots of problems with the daily ops. Now the daily ops is like the ultimate test, and this is like end game stuff. Now this is where you could really use this god tier armor. This like the overeaters sprinting like this. let's say I'm fighting. Well, these robots, they're probably gonna shoot at me. So when I'm running at them, I'm gonna take hits all over the place from maybe one, two, or three robots. And when I'm running now, these lots of these shots are gonna get some reduction on them. So sprinting is really good for an unarmed build. Now, but let's say um, they were not robots but mutants. Now let's have a look at this because I don't want to. I need to go to my base and grab other. I have more armor, but I just want to show you what I have right here. So here you see it has it's an MRL, which means a mutant slayer right leg, and I do it this way. It's so just so easy to see all the M's like, and also I want to know. This one doesn't have sprinting. This one doesn't have sentinel. So this is not a god tier. It's not a god tier because a god tier at least has something more than just being a mutant. Getting mutant servers arm a secret server as a service armor isn't that hard. I mean, to build one secret service, it costs you like one module, and you can get 6 modules a day. So you can build 6 a day. Now this is random, and there are lots of things that you can get. A mutant is one of like 10 or 14 things that you can get. Yeah, I think about 14 things. So getting a full mutant set will take you more than a couple of days, but it depends on how lucky you are. So having a mutant set is good anyway. So you want 4 mutant slayer. Now what does it does? 50% damage from super mutants. Now it seems like a no-brainer that if you look at all the things that I talked about until now, like that this is the best thing to have if you're going up against super mutants, because 15% is better than 6%. 15% is better than like 15% 3 out of 4 times. So this is always 15 damage reduction if it's from a super mutant. And now you get 5 armor pieces, so it's like I think it's like 75. Yeah, you have like 75 reduction. So all the mutants that are attacking you now, they are like 75% weaker all of a sudden. And this is like super tanky. This is super tanky. Like eviction notice, the mutants event. I went in there with my unyielding, and boom, I just died and I died. And also there was one guy who was shooting like fire rockets and stuff. Now I put on mutants. I put on dense armor. I put on like uh, um, here. There's another one. It's also important to know in the perks department. Come on. Yep. No, I don't have it. I don't have it yet here. I don't have it here, but it's. I think it's on endurance. I don't need it now because I have dense. No, well, I don't have dense right now, but I have like 2 pieces of fire protection on my yielding. But if like I said, like if I would go to the eviction notice, I might think about putting on fireproof. But I think I know that my mutants armor they all have dense on it, so dense and fireproof are pretty much the same. So you're doubling up on it, and I probably might have some fireproof fire pieces in there. I don't know. So I don't. If you don't have all those things, fireproof is amazing. It's really important to have fireproof, unless you're really sure that you can do without. But this is great. So I went into eviction notice with my mutants armor, and all of a sudden, and I think I only had like 3 pieces like this, and all of a sudden, boom! I started surviving. I started dominating those super mutants, and they were from everywhere shooting at me, and they had like fire rockets, and you know, um, so yeah, like having 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of mutant armor gonna really change everything in this situation. And you can even go into daily ops with a couple of pieces of armor. Like now, there are robots in daily ops. I can put on like troubleshooters armor, the robot armor, anti-robot armor. If I put like a couple of those on, I will be really really powerful. Now, I already showed you one god tier, a really serious god tier that I have, the sprinting overeaters. Now, I have another one god tier, um, mutants armor. Uh, I only have one god tier yet, I think, for mutants. But yeah, so you can see it's when you get them, you're really happy. I give this raiderish paint. It looks a bit different. I give it so I can know I cannot accidentally sell it anymore, and it just looks a little bit more interesting. And I know just giving a special treatment, so I know that all my god tier. Uh, wait a minute, that other one, what's that? Yeah, it is also painted. I forgot. I didn't even notice. So, um, yeah, this is my mutants got here. I only have one yet. Of course, I want five of them, and then you have even different options where you can have sprinting or sentinels. Uh, so, so yeah, the first task is get five of mutants, five troubleshooter, five ghouls, five zealots, five whatever, five assassins, and this is really good for and you need those for the daily ops because those are all in the daily ops, and going the daily ops without like this super set uh, it's gonna be painful, but once you have it, man, it's for unarmed. Look, unarmed, you might think, oh, I'm hitting, doing damage, and I will tell you about damage in a second, how you can boost your damage, but basically if you die, then you have to wait for respawn and go in. And in daily ops, just that wasting a lot of time. And if you want to do it in 8 minutes or less, so you get like all the extra credits and stuff for that and rare items. So and that's now it's easy for me, especially with a few team members. I can just go through my daily ops because I have five of the super sets. But like I said, you have within the superset you have the god tier. So this one is not only 15 for super mutants but also from sprinting. So again, for mutants, this is great because mutants they will shoot at you from a distance. So having protection from mutants, having protection while you're running up to them and sprinting is really good. So sprinting is I'm really happy to have. I would be happy with sentinels because in the end you will have to stand in front of a mutant and then start hitting him. And if they're strong, it might take a while. If they're like if it's like the boss fight, you might even want maybe more sentinel than sprinting because you can stand in front of the boss a lot. So the longer it takes for you to take down enemies, maybe you want more sentinel. But like when everyone is shooting at you with like mutants or maybe human, like anything that shoots, you want maybe a few sprinting and then maybe a few sentinel. But yeah, so I'm really happy with this one. So this is like I'm not there yet. Now of course cryo like this. Sometimes they do cryo damage in daily ops. It's not really good, not really useful in the rest of the game, but it's really useful in those situations. Or like the fire. Like I said, when there's this one guy who keeps shooting fire at you, and yeah, that is like here you see this one. It has 15 super mutants, 25 fire resistance, and it does poison damage. Well, that's nice. And then it has buttressed and it has dense. So the dense, again, it gives me fire protection. So I know with eviction notice that I'm gonna fight these guys that just keep shooting fire rockets at me and stuff. This is a great armor. This is a great armor because it has dense and fire resistance. Um, yeah, now this one, I'm not sure about this one. So sometimes when you get all so much secret service, like basically like I said, like the best armor is armor that gives you minus 15, right? And or minus 6 or it gives you like unyielding or it gives you like something extra like the sprinting or sentinels. This one had sprinting, which of course is interesting because like I said, running up to things is is something you do a lot. And if you compare it really like let's say you don't have um uh, this is left arm. Let's I mean if you don't you, like it's 15% while sprinting. If you do sprint a lot, it's pretty. It's like it's even without the other one. It's still, and this one it gives me like when I die I revive. Now I heard somebody talk about that. I haven't tried it out much. I haven't seen it happen much. So I'm just testing this one. Uh, so in the end, this might will go away. I might not even use it. Maybe completely useless. But I'm looking at them. I'm testing them out, seeing them, seeing if because if this works, being revived 50% of the time when you die. I mean, in the end, what do you want to? Why are you doing all this for? You don't want to die, right? Okay, so but I'm not sure if that actually is a good armor, but I'm testing that out. Uh, no, I can show you more armors, but let's go into the perks. Um, so like I said, like barbarian. I mean, you can if you're beginning out, you can probably want this full. Maybe don't do bandolier and ordnance, and just like do more things here that will help you with survivability. Now blocker, you cannot go without blocker in any build. 45% less damage from opponent's melee attack. Of course, you are unarmed. You're gonna go and go head to head against other melees. You need this. Incisor, melee and unarmed. Now again, you're an unarmed. Ignore 75 of your target's armor. Amazing, yeah. 30% faster swing speed. Great. Now, concentrate fire again. I'm a bit greedy. I do use guns once in a while, but Butcher's Bounty is also really great to replace that with. If you're like fighting goals, glow sight could be good. Um, Now, yeah, maybe you want some extra. Uh, yeah, I guess those are the ones that I use most. Those three. I haven't used glow sight in a while. I did it in the beginning. I always had glow sight on, and lately butchers. So butchers is really good because you need the food. Let me go into food for a second. So again, like I said, you want to boost. There are two things important: endurance for survivability, and you have the strength for like your unarmed damage, right? So let me go to spot. Yeah, okay. Let me see what we come up through. I have lots of food. I have an upgrades that gives me. I have a perk that gives me lots of food. Okay, energy resist, nice. This one gives 8 endurance. Now that's a lot. That is probably because I'm in team right now. I will show you why that is, because normally it's like 6 or something, but now it's 8 because I get lots of extra boost for being in team, and I have some extra um, things unlocked for that. I will show you. So endurance again, 8 endurance. That's a lot of extra health. That will really help you stay alive together with all the other things you're doing. So this is a really good one. There's lots of the Scorch Beast. It comes up all the time. If you just stay in the game for a while, it will come up like doo doo. Weet je wel, you hear like the steam engine locomotive, and then it goes off, and then you know that there's a nuke going on, and probably they're doing Scorch Beast. Go there, even if you feel like you don't have much to contribute. Go there, see if you can shoot it, do it some enough damage, so you can like at least harvest like these things like the Scorch Beast heart, Scorch Beast steak. So 18 joules is really nice. Now steak, it has some damage resist. The lung, agility, of course this is your AP, really nice. That is how much like how long you can run, how long can you use your vets and stuff. So and also there's another so and then here we have perception for shooting, um, intelligence, again really good for when you're crafting, when you're and when you're like just going when you're getting experience points, you get more experience when your intelligence is higher. Now I'm going to show you my stats for a sec because I'm still on yielding, and you can see that I have like 35 strength, 23 perception, endurance only 13, charisma 15, intelligence 26, 28 and 27. You can see it's really high up there. Now if I were to take go to the other armor, yeah, 25, 13, 13, and oh yeah, 13 perception. I lost so much. Charisma 6, 15, 17, 17. This is a lot less. You see? But it doesn't mean you cannot play with it, because now I have three mutant armor, one Overeater's army, and one. This is actually, I chose this to fight mutants with because I want to test the live one out, and this is like a god tier. So the sprinting plus the Overeater is like 21 damage. This is 21. This is 15. This is 15, and this one is like pretty much like 30, except for sometimes it fails, of course, the sprinting. So yeah, so so I have two god tier. This one the sprint and the sprint are god tiers in it, and then I have some yeah, interesting. So now let me go back to my unyielding again, because yeah, my carry weight depends on it. So let's go. Let go. So we were like lock 8, Scorch liver. You see the Scorch Beast, really good. To now glowing meat steak. Melee damage 25. Again, I'm in a team, and I will show you. I have some extra bonuses. This is normally like I think 15, but now you have 25. And this is because I'm a carnivore. And here, let me show you carnivore real quick. So my effects. So here, these are. I have lots of them because I got this when I didn't know the game, nothing, and you can get them like when you get radiated, you can get them, but you don't have control about what you get and how you get it, and also you can buy them. That's probably the smartest thing. You can buy them for like 400 from player vendors, and then you can just pick and choose what you want. But I got them all for free, I think, mostly. No, well, not all. I just did. I did buy. I did make a few of my own and then use them. Uh, so let's go through them real quick. Adrenal reaction. Of course, more weapon damage. That's nice at low HP. So that is like a bloody build where you have like I have now. I have mostly everything is I'm really like high radiation, and then a little bit of health left. So I'm doing more damage because of that. Bird bones is really good for when you like have the when you're jumping a lot, like when you have the like now the jump pack and stuff, and when you're jumping. Carnivore. This is really important for an unarmed beat. This is what you really need for unarmed. Um, so double the benefits. This is why that food was giving me so much extra unarmed damage. Now eagle eyes, critical damage 75, nice. You can see like -1 strength is not good for my build because I'm unarmed, but critical damage 75. I mean plus 75. That's huge. So all these. That's why I got so many of these things, even when they're not perfect for unarmed builds, because I do want to shoot sometimes. I want to do certain things, and although some things will take strength away from me, or you have small minus things, the bonuses are so big that why not get loads of them? But be careful because the carnivore, once you get like herbivore, you cannot get carnivore. And for unarmed, you do need carnivore. Really need carnivore because you get all your unarmed damage from there. Now, so melee attackers, nice. And pet. This one is really